WARFRAME, the free-to-play game that's been going strong for roughly 5, 6 maybe years? I don't quite remember. You may have noticed me playing it a lot more on my channel, streaming it, even. And I would like to try my hand at doing a somewhat of a review for it. Now, I've talked about it a couple of times in actual videos. I've tried to make comments about it and all that stuff, but we're gonna have to sit down and try to make something resembling a proper review for newer and veteran players. Bear in mind, I might make a mistake. It's only natural. I'm an idiot when it comes to stuff like this. And there's no pre-recording ahead of time. I'm making the script up as I go along. I should point out that this is coming from the perspective of someone who has put roughly 700 hours into the game. If you don't believe me, there you go. Now, we're going to be talking about everything that I can think of that may be of relevance to a person. We'll start with the characters involved, the story, the look of it. The whole time while I'm playing the game, I will have gameplay of it in the background, probably pertaining to what I am talking about to make it easier for people to see what I mean. But that's pretty much it. Without further ado, let's get started with the characters involved in the game. One last thing, I would like to try to keep this spoiler free, or as little as I can, which may be hard as some characters, such as the one you're seeing there, are pertaining to the main quest. But I would try to refrain from going too much into detail about them and other aspects of the game. So, and this is going to sound very obvious here, the main characters in WARFRAME are the frames themselves. By that I mean, there is a whole arsenal of WARFRAME characters to pick from and use, each with their own unique abilities and looks and strengths and weaknesses. For example, Ember here is fire. Now, I mean, that doesn't make her weak to water, but still, that's just kind of her theme. She does a whole lot of flame damage, burns, all that stuff, with an area of effect attack that is constantly active and burning stuff. She has a passive that she gains energy and does more damage when she's on fire, so it's like a flaming devil. There are other frames in here such as Chroma and Hero. Chroma, which is based on, I think, a dragon. Hero, a Catholic priest. And Excalibur, which is a starter frame. There are 3 starters that you can pick from at the beginning of the game. Excalibur there. Mag. There is one more, and his name is Volt. If you ask me which of these 3 I prefer, I'm going to have to go with Volt. However, as far as like actual usability, Excalibur is probably more well-rounded. I don't play Mag a whole lot to know about her. I just have her. Now you're thinking to yourself, how do you get these other frames? Well, they are all available to get. You don't have to pay money. You have to pay an in-game currency, but you can earn that in the actual game. You don't have to spend real money to get anything in this game. And to me, that is a great thing. That nothing in this game has to be physically bought with money, if you just want to try to learn how to do things. That being said, I'm an idiot when it comes to some of that stuff, but either way, every frame can be got, be it a mission. Some of them will, however, be given to you as quest rewards, such as Chroma. He is part of a quest, so you can only get some of his parts from a quest. Limbo is the same way. He's another WARFRAME. He's a magician. Most people hate him for reasons I can't tell you. There's another sub-aspect to this called modding. And modding is taking your WARFRAME to the next level, so to speak. Mods can make or break a WARFRAME in combat. You can add to certain stats. You can take away from. You can make them where they one-shot everything. You can make them where they just stand there and like level 200 enemies and just look at them like, what are you doing? Giving me a massage? This is the best thing ever. You're seeing a little bit of them. I'm trying to compare Exalted Blade down here to an augment mod, which is a little advanced, but still. Forgive me. Chromatic Blade there, it changes Excalibur's weapon to whatever his energy color is. It does an element damage, which is supremely powerful, and a little bit broken to an extent. Such as other Warframes also have abilities that can break their abilities like that. However, I did not make that build there. I copied it from another YouTuber, so we're not gonna... I can't mod, so forgive me on that one. So, next things, we're going to go straight into combat. Like, actual, like, how the game is played. And stuff. Okay. One minor thing you're gonna note, and I forgot to mention this earlier, that you have more than one means of doing damage in this game. You aren't just limited to your Warframe. There are primary, secondary, and melee weapons to assist you. So you can literally be walking into every mode with a shotgun, or a sniper rifle, an assault rifle, or a pistol, or a sword, an axe, a scythe. There are a lot of weapons to choose from. I personally prefer melee weapons, mainly because I like to get up close and personal. It's however floats your boat, and when you first go into combat now, this is the thing. You're gonna notice, I might offhand, I missed that shot there like a pro. I'm not good at this game. However, you're gonna look at the graphics here, and this is what is great. This is a free-to-play game. I think I mentioned this earlier. And for a free-to-play game, this game is amazing. It looks beautiful. It moves, its movement is nice, it's smooth, everything like that. There's really nothing I can really complain about as far as this. Now, I'm trying to. There's not really a whole lot I can really say about this. That's the only problem here. Movement is pretty agile. You move real fast. You're agile. It really makes you feel like you're in power, like you are this superhuman warrior fighting these little low-class grunts. So all I can really say about this is not a whole lot of information about it. Just like you can see how it looks. Enemies have statuses such as elemental. They may occasionally have buffs or debuffs. For example, the enemies right now are Corpus. Corpus have shields that make it where they can take a little more damage and stuff. However, that can be countered by using something such as electricity to, disintegrate faster. Other enemies will have higher armor, which can be taken down with corrosive, I think, or viral. I think it's corrosive. And all I'm saying here goes all the way back to modding your weapons. So, it's something I really need to learn to do, actually. Otherwise, it's showcase it a little bit better. But, as right here gets through everything, I'm not going to keep talking more about this because I'm just rolling over myself. The next thing we're going to talk about is the community. And this is where I may come to regret what I'm going to say. Apologies, this is not something I can really pre-record. Because it makes it a little easier for me to just say it as I go. When it comes to the community, there are 3 distinct chat rooms in it. There is the region chat. It is more of a general discussion thing, but every once in a while you will get some kind of good information out of here, but a lot of the time I don't. But a lot of the time you will not. A lot of the time you won't. Just people yelling at each other like idiots. Like this guy right here. He is talking about it and stuff. There was recruiting chat, which I have set to just recruit clans because I was recruiting for my clan. Okay, let me just take that off. Here's where you can find stuff for missions, groups for missions, and people who are just generally trying to complete the game. Or if you're also interested in joining a clan or alliance, this is the place you will need to go. I will point out that I am in a clan, which is a part of an alliance. which I will show it to you actually if I can. Quality content as usable. I can't remember how to show the alliance, but crap it. Anyway, there are also a trading chat, which is where you trade items for platinum, the in-game currency. As I mentioned earlier, there was a way to get everything in the game using an in-game currency. That is the in-game currency you would use to obtain said items. Oh, here it is. We are part of an alliance called In-Game Tenno, ran by this clan right here, the In-Game Tenno. It is also ran by another guy who I am amazed hasn't fallen into a dark pit of insanity. And there's me. If you're interested in joining it, you can PM me in the actual game or place some messages or leave a comment in the video. I don't really care. Speaking, the reason I was trying to find those pretty hard there is because the next thing is, if you have joined a clan, you get access to a special clan chat, which is dead at the moment because it's late at night here. Despite the fact that everyone and their mother's on today. But again, if you are also a part of an alliance, if your clan is part of an alliance, which is, an alliance is basically a bunch of clans gathered together, you get access to another chat room, which is where all of the players in that in your alliance can freely speak and stuff. But by the way, this guy here is talking some pretty intelligent stuff here. The reason I said I may regret what I'm going to say is with games like MMOs and looter-based games, I don't get along with the communities and stuff. Mostly because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And you have to smack me with the information, basically. You have to be pretty blind, have to, all that stuff. And most of them just Google it. I mean, that's just a personal thing. It's got nothing to do with the actual game and everything, but it's just a personal negative I find with it. Nothing really to write home about. With that, we're going to go straight over into content. And again, this is also a bit of a negative for me. I'm going to keep this going on one set take if I can. Content is the following. You have an entire solar system, and this is different than it was for me. I don't know what it is. I believe you start on Mercury here. And you have to work your way around. It might not be Mercury, it may be Venus. I don't exactly remember how this works, okay? I wasn't around for this new update and stuff. But there are rails, junctions. In order to progress to, say, Mars here, you would have to do this junction here. To do that, you would have to complete everything on the left side of the screen there. In order to do it. You also get rewards and stuff, of course, but yeah. To me, this is it. This is all that there is. There was a couple of other things you can do. With the addition of the plains of Eidolon, there is something new you can do at nighttime, which is hunting a monster. 3 monsters to be exact. And there is a game mode called the Onslaught, which is you putting yourself up against a gauntlet match of how long can you survive against waves of enemies. And for the majority of players in here, I'm not sure about all of them, but I'm pretty sure the majority of them, this is nothing. So, there really is not a set in-game. They did have raids in the game at one point, however, they took them out in place of this. I assume they were in place of that. I don't quite honestly know. I don't know how they do stuff. To me, that is kind of a bit of a negative, because once you've done all the start shot, you've gotten to the max rank, which I have not. There really isn't anything to do I mean, the veterans and players have gotten to take it up to something called FashionFrame, which is customizing out your frames to look unsightly. This is my only attempt at it. This is my one of 3 attempts, and I'm not going to say the others because they are just as bad, if not worse. Now, we're going to move on to another topic in a second. I'm going to keep it quiet for now. And now for my overall opinion of the game. I'm not going to dissuade any of you from going to download it. If it looks good to you, I highly encourage you to try it out yourself. I am not very good at explaining things. Reviews are not my specialty, so I'm certain there's another person who can do this a lot better than me. You've probably watched them already. For the game itself, it's beautiful for what it is. Free to play from a small company that was, before it was said that they weren't even going to make it this far. For them to have created something like this and still creating content and keeping it regularly updated now, mind you. This game is amazing. And they do it for free. They don't ask for anything. There's no pay. You have the option to buy things. The option to. I say that again. Option. It's completely opinionated. You don't have to spend a dime on it. I personally spent a little bit just to fund the game. A little bit. Quote unquote fund it. I can't actually donate to them like that. I bought 2 packs for it. It's just kind of like my way of saying, oh hey, I like your stuff. Keep it up. As I would say, this game is perfect. There are numerous glitches and bugs within the game. Certain characters kind of get a little buggy. There aren't really like game-breaking things. I mean, every once in a while I have fallen out of the map on certain jobs and stuff. More specifically, the tile set for when I was running around as Excalibur earlier. The ending part there, I fell through the map. Don't know how, but I did. As I said before, story. It's lacking. The lore in the game is deep. And I didn't touch on it at all, or tried to avoid it if I could. Primarily because it's a lot of spoilers. Delving too much into the lore would spoil a lot of key practical points in it. I really did not want to do that. I do, however, encourage that you guys open to come into it. Try the game out. I know I said that earlier, but I really mean that. This game is amazing for what it is. It just needs more stuff to do. It's really all that I can see that is wrong with it. There's a plethora of weapons to use, different warframes, different abilities. You're seeing one right now that is literally dropping a snow globe down to keep a point safe. As long as that globe is down, enemies can't hit it if they're outside of it. And stuff. And that's just one frame. You've seen, like what, 2 different frames being used? Out of like 30 maybe? Different characters, different abilities, different looks. There's so much content in here and stuff. I feel like it just gets blown over by other people who are like, I don't play this type of game, or it's free, so it's probably pay to play and all that stuff. It's not. I'm rambling, I know I am, I'm sorry. That's the end of the video. I will leave the rest of this gameplay up for people to watch, but you are free to leave, whatever. If you liked this, great. If you didn't, I'm sorry. If you have any suggestions on how I could do these type of review things better, please let me know. I would like to start doing them a little bit, but I'm going to try to learn as I go. Again, you guys have a good night, day, whatever time you decide to watch this. And I'll see you whatever I decide to try to make next. Latest.
Let's go. Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy,